Chào mọi người, mình là Hân Thiên Nguyên, mình là làm tin từ Dallas Fort Worth. Thì hôm nay mình sẽ làm nhận bản tin mà song ngữ nhé, vừa tiếng Việt vừa tiếng Mỹ, để cho mình cũng muốn cho những người Mỹ gốc Việt ở đây này là hiểu về Việt Nam hơn, tại vì mình biết họ cũng có hiểu tiếng Việt và hiểu tiếng Mỹ. Thì hôm nay thì tin tức mình muốn đưa đến cho mọi người là tin uh, on the New York Times, for they have new for Biden. Sometimes I speak both languages, okay? Like for Biden, who neither fought in Vietnam nor protested, were stripped of opportunity, while others of his generation were scared by the conflict. President Biden for a strategist partnership on his first visit to the country, framing it in pragmatic terms. As he wrapped up a two-day trip to Hanoi, his first visit to Vietnam, President Biden on Monday made a point of stopping by a memorial to his old friend Senator John McCain, the famed visionary of war who was later instrumental in forcing reconciliation with a one-time enemy. Mr. Biden brought John Kerry, another compact turned veteran, turned senator who ultimately joined Mr. McCain to normalize relations between Washington and Hanoi in 1995. For Mr. McCain and Mr. Kerry, the bloody battle of Vietnam changed their lives, leaving scar tissue so indelible that it shaped their thinking and career for decades. Mr. Biden's relationship to Vietnam and the world, however, were drastically different. While a contemporary of his two veteran friends, Mr. Biden never served in a uniform. Yet neither did he protest the war along with others of his age. He was too busy, he has said, getting an education, starting a family, and entering politics. While he opposed the war, it did not define him, and he brought little baggage. When he landed in Hanoi on a diplomatic mission for this week, for Mr. Biden, then agreeing to a new strategist relationship with Vietnam, agreeing to a new strategist relationship with Vietnam during his trip were more about countering China than about exorcising ghosts of the past. It was a pragmatic, geopolitical calculation. Vietnam wants more distant from Beijing. It means that Vietnam want more distant from Beijing, and the United States want more friends in the region. Like Vietnam wants step forward to closer with the United States. That's what they mean. The fact the fact that a large part of Ho Chi Minh looked on as he sealed the deal with Vietnam Communist leader Nguyễn Phú Trọng went unremarked on, so did the many tons of American bombs that once fell in this colonial city. It's mean like the U.S. military bomb a lot of bomb, ton of bomb in Hanoi. For that matter, the repression of the current government barely raided a couple of boilerplate sentences from President. But Mr. Biden paused for a moment of reflection during a meeting with corporate executives on Monday. I looked out the window of my hotel today and I thought to myself, I were a young man in college, and all my friends and I were assuming we were coming to Vietnam, not to visit. He said, look what Chan. The two sides highlighted that Chan with an exchange of items, symbolizing how they have move on. They move on the war, after the war, they move on. Two American veterans returned a diary recovered on the battlefield in 1967 to the Vietnamese soldier who wrote it. Vietnamese officer, President Secretary of State Antony Blinken, with identification cards of U.S. troops still missing in action. To the extent that the Vietnam War influences Mr. Biden today is a cautionary tale of a misguided view of force overseas, one that more recently informed his decision to pull American forces out of Afghanistan after 20 years. As it happened, the touted withdrawal from Kabul in 2021 diminished many of the cheering image of an American helicopter taking off uh, from the roof of Saigon building in 1975, the symbol of an ignominious ending to the disaster war. Disaster war. It's been like President Biden say American forces out of Afghanistan, like the case American U.S. military out of Saigon in 1975, uh, April 30. That's what he means. I think he learned to dig in hard to find out what really going on and what the facts are don't necessarily take conventional wisdom, but be suspicious. Mr. Kerry, Democrat, a Democrat who represented Massachusetts and now serves as Mr. Biden climate envoy, said in an interview he made comments to me about feeling the responsibility to make sure that as president you don't get yourself into an unwanted war. Former Senator Chuck Hagel, a Republican from Nebraska, Nebraska, and another Vietnam veteran who served with Mr. Biden in Congress, say in a separate interview from the United States that the future president often contemplated the enduring meaning of that word. Biden and I spoke often about Vietnam and its consequences, said Mr. Hagel, who also served with Mr. Biden in President Barack Obama administration as defense secretary. How we distrustfully drifted into needless war that cost America over 55,000 lives and caused political chaos in the U.S. Mm, they got a lot of trouble uh, in the Vietnam War. Lesson learned, he added. I think those lessons have very much underpinned Biden's foreign policy thinking and philosophy. Caution, careful analysis. Mr. Biden, the fourth member of the Vietnam generation to be president and the fourth who did not serve in the war, but the first for whom it had not been much a political headache. Bill Clinton, George Bush, and Donald Trump were all attacked for the ways they avoid Vietnam. Mr. Biden, 4 years older than each Thomas, received five student deferment while at the University of Delaware and Syracuse University College of Law. As he were about to graduate in 1968, he was classified 1Y after a medical exam, a uh, designation meaning he was not fit for the service except in the national emergency. A spokesman in 2008 attributed the classification to asthma. he had asthma. Mr. Biden had asthma, so that's why he not fit for service except in a national emergency. In that sense, Mr. Biden's record were not that different from that Mr. Trump, who received for student deferment, and then were also classified worldwide in 1968 because of what he said were bones burr in his food. But Mr. Trump's diagnosis came as a favor from a food doctor in Queens who rented an office from Mr. Trump's father. Two of the doctor's daughters told the New York Times, Mr. Trump once said that my personal Vietnam were avoiding sexually transmitted disease while dating. Okay. So um, that's like the news from the New York Times. In short, they tell about Biden visits Vietnam, and in the news, Biden recall a lot of memory for Vietnam War, uh and his fans John Kerry and John McCain. So uh, some uh, some some of my opinion, like he say the Vietnam War cost US over 58,000 life. So it's my opinion they a US military they go fight the democratic for the democratic is for the world of the world, but they fight for money as well. That's my opinion. Now they're not a freelance, so they the partner with our grandfather generation, like my grandfather generation. So you know I think not a freelance, they fight for money as well, for natural sources, for the inventory export from South Vietnam before 1975 to US. That's my opinion. I repeat that my opinion, not a lot of people opinion. Uh, so back to the case, 1975. Là we we call Republic of Vietnam in South Vietnam. We separate with North Vietnam. Um, so the North Vietnam they follow the Communist Party. They follow the communism. The communist Vietnam Communist Party they cooperate with Russia and China. My opinion, they represent for the darkness, the evil. Our grandfather generation they follow the democratic, follow the freedom. That's why they follow the U.S. But why the Saigon fall in 1975? So I live in Vietnam since a little child, born in Vietnam, and I go school over there from elementary, the K3 in here to the university second year, and then I get to US with my family in with petition from my grandfather family side, my mom's side. So uh, why we follow the US? why we failed with the fight against the Vietnam Communist Party. We I can tell like we follow the light, the goodness. We like represent for the good thing, the good stuff. But we fail because of the first one. Like in my opinion, we South Vietnam just small country compared to the North Vietnam and China and China they support and Russia they support a lot for North Vietnam. So we small country we unable to against the North Vietnam without a support of the U.S. military. Uh, Sometimes like I have to say like speak both languages just like a verse in the church, okay, or like the Bible teacher like teaching you guys Bible in the church. Sometimes I have to say both languages. So uh, so like as I say like small country, we just small country, South Vietnam. Yeah, and after 1975, we have our grandfather generation had to go overseas to be a refugee. And like my family case, my grandfather he is soldier, and he have a soldier ID. And when he got to Hong Kong in the refugee camp, someone did the petition for him to get him to US. So why I do this video with the English? I want to connect you guys like Vietnamese American who born in US with the Vietnamese in South Vietnam. I know it's hard, it's difficult because you guys not experience the society in Vietnam. You guys don't have any impression with you guys because là you guys born in US. Like can say là Mỹ con là my daughter là my daughter 4 years now. He born in US. Like I say she là I say her là Mỹ con là made in US. So I want to connect you guys with the Vietnamese in South Vietnam to restore the South Vietnam. We have to take it back because like my opinion is that country like our grandparents like great grandparents they build the country for 1,000 years. I know even it's a small country but it's cost a lot of bone and blood of our great grandparents for 1,000 years. It's not easy. And you guys just say stay here for 48 years. Like after 1975 like maximum 48 years. Like we can tell like we unable to tell like the US is our 100% nation because the nation is not simple to build. So it's cost a lot of bone and blood over a 1,000 year, even 1,000 year. I know the US just let me double check on like the US history, like what year uh, let me see, USA got independence, like since July 4, 1776. So 2023 now, so I have to do the math, like 2023, let me see, minus 1774. So just 200 years and for 249 years. So black man like Barack Obama, he stay here for like his people, black, his race, like stay here for 249 years. Just after like 230 something years, the first black man to be a U.S. president. You see, it's a long time. We unable to say like when we have a first Asian president, Asian like Vietnamese American president. It's cost a lot more than blood as well, and the long time we have to like contribute to U.S. a lot of things. We just stay here for 48 years. We unable to tell like U.S. like our original country 100% now. Just like my opinion, like just 30-40%. So that's why we have to restore the South Vietnam of our great grandparents. Cause like it's like cost lab bone and blood of our great grandparents, and we have a natural sources over there. Especially natural sources. It's hard to have it to uh, to be a foundation of the country. We have to have natural sources. Uh, and the plan, my opinion and my plan, like I would like the South Vietnam people before 1975 like contribute taxes to the U.S. after they have a strategy with the U.S. like a promote manufacturing like I mean like the big manufacturing like uh, car, like airplane, aircraft, or even weapons, uh, and export to U.S. and contribute taxes to U.S. That's my opinion. And because like I see that China they export to U.S. but the environment in their country is really bad. So that's why I recommend, like suggest, that's my suggestion, like contribute taxes to the U.S. to limit, to like prevent the bad condition of the environment while we do the manufacturing for the South Vietnam, for the people before 1975. Of course, I don't say like the Viet Cong, the VC, and the North Vietnamese, uh, the Viet Cong from North Vietnam, like contribute taxes because we raise like former enemies with us, with the U.S., with us as well. Like back to the history, like the Vietnam, like government, the top government, they often like sell, like try to like sell the country, sell the people for their own benefit. That's the way like the king or the queen like they do, or the top, or today where we don't have king or queen in Vietnam, but the top government they still like king or queen uh, in the past. That's what I mean. Like they always to find a way to sell the the nation, sell the natural sources, sell the people, like go work for the other country and bring the paycheck, the salary, the saving, the saving back to the Vietnam, back to the original nation. So we have to sell them back. That's what I recommend or I suggest they contribute taxes to the U.S. That's why we balance the top government and people. We the people, we have to like try to like make the people always like better and better, like make the South Vietnam South Vietnamese people before 1975 better again, better again. I try to connect the Vietnamese American uh, with the Vietnamese in South Vietnam, like out related or even out related. So you know what, like sometimes I upset when I think about our related, our people in before 1975 in South Vietnam. They live in the best society, like they have a low paycheck. That's like they like they got stuck in the trap of the car Vietnam Communist Party. Like they just want like our people had no check, how had no job, low income, and so our relatives asked for money in the U.S. to send money back to Vietnam, and so we like accidentally like make the Vietnam Communist Party richer. Like they get like the U.S. dollar and they go do the business for their own benefit with the nation in the world. That's their trap, like their plan, bullshit plan. So we have to take it back. That's what I try to like tell you guys, like connect you guys with our relatives in the people. If our related in the nation in the South Vietnam, if our related like handle a job or a low income, they have to go rob other people. Uh, that's how the communists bullshit. They like rob their people, and the people in the nation have no job, have no low income, have not enough like the condition for their life, for daily life. So they go rob other people. That's how the communist society. That's what like how bullshit like communist party. So well, in short, like I try to I do the video with like both languages, like like a priest or like Bible teacher teaching you guys in the church. So to connect you guys with our people in South Vietnam, the people before 1975 in South Vietnam. Alright, so vậy thôi. Uh, kết thúc bản tin ngày hôm nay. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching my video. If you guys like interested in my video, just do a subscribe. Thank you. Subscribe.